All right. Well, my name is Robert Atkinson, as you all well know, and this is my journey to the other side of the desk. My journey I'm not just going to cover my students' teaching experience or the program in this PowerPoint. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take y'all through my life from when I was a little kid, kind of like all the way up to today, because my journey towards being a teacher is kind of like this lifelong thing for me. It's not just like something that you can do in one term. Okay. So I want to start you all off with a quote. I really like this quote. My mom she was a science teacher, and she teaches at a private school, and she was actually my teacher growing up in the 6th grade. So I got to have my mom as a teacher. That was an interesting experience. And she had this in her room, and this quote really resonated with me. Education is not the learning of facts, but the training of the mind to think. I really like to take away like the crux of this and apply it to social studies because I think we've all heard it growing up. Even my friend said it to me like last weekend. Social studies just a bunch of facts, names and dates, all kinds of things like that. And I just wanted to flip the metaphorical table and walk out of the room. I was really angry. Basically, what I try to do in my classroom is I don't want to just teach them facts and names and dates and things like that. I want to teach them to critical think. I think that social studies allows for people to be able to critical think, and that's what I really like. That's what I really like for it. I believe it lets you be able to critically think, which is a skill that you're going to use for the rest of your life. And another thing that it lets you do is it lets you relate to things. I really like this. I was talking to a math teacher at my placement, and he said that the hardest thing that he has in regards to into what he does in his high school and like what he does in his class is he can't get the students to relate to the material very easily. And that's, for me, like I really like that in social studies because I got the chance to teach world history this semester. I was very blessed to teach that because I could draw from all kinds of different things from all over the world. I could find some way to relate everything to everybody, no matter what I was talking about. All right, where I'm from is Richmond, Virginia, right here. This little star. I was born and raised here. I guess this is where my love of history really, truly began. Here's my beautiful city. It's called the River City. We get a lot of flack because it's kind of dangerous and the education system's not that great, but it's my city. I love it. I love it. It's where I come from. Yep. All right. So, just some pictures right now. This is where I got my love of history because Richmond is a very historical city. Here's the White House of the Confederacy, especially a lot of Civil War things. So I went here when I was like 6 years old for a field trip in like the 1st grade, and I didn't even know what the Confederacy was at the time, but I really enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. I was like, wow, so this is the history of like not only my city, but of the country as a whole. Here's the Stonewall Jackson Memorial, the Jefferson Davis Memorial downtown, and here's a Civil War reenactment down Monument Avenue, where all these Civil War reenactments come to. And I guess like another part of this is growing up in the Capital Confederacy. It got me really thinking about history because from like a very young age in my social studies class, we were taught, hey, this city that you all love and we all were raised from? Well, it was the capital of like the bad side of history. So I had to like reconcile with that growing up, just knowing that my home city that I love was once synonymous with slavery and an awful institution like that. So that really made me like want to think about history because history, just from like an early age, always applied to me personally. This is Monument Avenue 10K. I go home and I run this every year. Here's the picture that I took at the starting line this year. I actually didn't sign up this year, but my mom, she hurt her ankle, so I took her bib, and I got like 39th out of all the women. Yeah. She was very proud. She saw her name in the newspaper. It was nice. Yeah. So I got to run this as Eileen Atkinson this year. That was fun. Another part of like how I got to learn history is the History Channel then. My dad and I, we used to watch a lot of World War II documentaries every Saturday night and Sunday night. This is like my favorite part of the week. I just got to chill with my dad and watch all these documentaries. I just thought they were the coolest things in the history of the world. They were awesome. Alright, so this is the History Channel's then, and this is the History Channel now. A little part of my soul is dying, like my childhood. You know, we got like Axemen, Swamp People, Top Gear, Pawn Stars, Only in America, like, geez. So just a little bit of my childhood that really has died recently, you know, just like what really got me into history, which is a bummer. Alright, me as a learner. Alright, I was not like you guys. I was not a good high school student. I was never a good student. I always had a great respect for learning and the teaching profession as a whole, but I didn't really give all that much effort in school, or as much as I probably should have given. I was always a smart kid. I just didn't put forth any effort. High school GPA 3.2 weighted. I was in the IB program. 2.4 unweighted, like really bad. The only A's I ever got were in history and in art. I really liked art and history a lot. They were cool. I don't like art history though. It's weird. It's combined. All right, this is me in high school. Look at this guy. Look at that hair. Nice. Yeah. I always thought it was funny to. Everybody always does this and smiles. I always thought it'd be funny if you just laid down a bunt and just looked like super serious, and it was awesome. Yeah, so this is me in high school, just a goober. I didn't really care about school. I just liked baseball a lot. It applied to me. So I'm going to talk to you about how I grew as a learner. I got into Christopher Newport University right out of high school. It wasn't my ideal school because I knew I could have done better if I had actually tried. I know I didn't want a small environment to go to, even though I had a good time there. I wanted like a big environment where I could see people from all over the world, things like that. So in CNU, I realized I wanted to transfer. So improvement. I finished my first year with a 3.94 GPA, like really super high. I studied really, really hard. And then I got into Virginia Tech. And this whole time I knew I wanted to be a teacher. I knew I wanted to be a history teacher. I just wanted to do it at Virginia Tech. So why such improvement? I believe the material I was studying was meaningful to me, meaning I could apply it to my direct, what I wanted to do in my future as a history teacher. I could apply it as to why I would need to know it, again. And I had control over what I was learning. So me, as a bad student, I turned it around. I really became a good student in college because I saw everything that I tried to do as something that was meaningful to me towards my future. And also this one too, I had control over what I was learning. Let me get into that in a little bit. All right, so my personal philosophy. This is just an excerpt from my personal philosophy. There are many different races and cultures that make up the fabric of the American society. I believe it is what makes it such a great country and what we should embrace it in the classroom. I will understand that my teaching method needs to accommodate all these different cultures. I'll create a classroom environment that celebrates our diversity while simultaneously celebrating our belonging to the greater American society. Y'all can read the rest. But that's what I really like about social studies, and I really hope to go on to teach world history. That's where my passion lives, because I think there's just so many cool things that come from the world, different cultures, different backgrounds, different things like that. And as we grow like more and more to the 21st century, we don't live in like an American society. Well, we do, but we live within the larger global society, especially as internet communication is becoming more important. So I think as a social study, it's like really, really, really important to teach the kids like the backgrounds of everybody who's coming from all over the world in order to get them to be able to function in a globalized workplace. And I think that's our duty as social studies teachers. I think it's really, really, really important. That's why I want to go into it. All right, educational autobiography. Basically, I just kind of talked about what I just talked about. My school experience is pretty typical of most children, I suppose. I'm just going to give you all the summary here. Basically, I liked school up until the latter part of middle school, because then, like 7th, 8th grade, on into high school, because creativity wasn't at the crux of the education system. It was more of a sit down, I'm going to tell you what to learn, I'm going to tell you how we're going to learn it type thing. And I say that like the teachers were evil. They weren't evil at all. They were very nice people. It's just I didn't really see how the material related to me. Another big thing is I also like autonomy, which I try to give the students. Like they can give, like they go out and learn themselves. For example, I gave them, on my World War II test, I gave them a question. I let them know beforehand that this is going to be 10 points. You have to go and look up a battle that we didn't study before, and you have to list 8 to 10 facts about the battle on the test. So that's just one example. So going on to my metaphor now, we're going into the first part of the teaching program here. I always thought the social studies teacher was a philosopher. A philosopher is a Greek for lover of knowledge, because I always did love knowledge, and just not the schooling process. I always loved my teachers and knowledge itself, but I really want to try to make schooling more engaging for the students, get them to really think about the things that are important to them as well. So, all right, this is my first lesson. All right. This was the creative zone that I did in Dr. Zano's class with Michael over the summer. So this is this is our very first time bringing in, making like my lesson. As you can see here, I have like the essential questions, like very, very broad, essential objectives, very, very broad as well. There's not really a lot of framing, no materials used. Here's our plan of action, pretty broad, but no NCSS themes tied in because we hadn't learned about those yet. So it was just very, very broad, like not very focused.